Hi everyone, I'm Emma and this is Emma Rose in Books. A couple of months ago I was having a bit of a sort through in the loft and I've got like a box of sentimental bits and I came across this little notebook. It's kind of a scrappy, in fact where's even the front page? Here we go, look. Oh my god, I was so cool. And I don't even know why I've held on to this. I had so many of these kind of little things. In fact, that's not even the front page. This is the front page. There we go, 1991. So I was 7. I had so many of these little notebooks where I would just write down stories and poems and random diary entries and bits and pieces. I mean, I still love to keep notebooks. I have a bullet journal and then I also have several other notebooks where I keep notes, funny enough. Maybe I'll do a tour one day. Anyway, there are some little funny snippets in here and I just thought it would be fun to share with you some of my writing from when I was a kid. I'm going to start with this one, the first one on the first page. So the Thursday the 4th of March 1991. So yeah, I was born in 84, but this is just before my birthday, so I was 6. So, there once was a little girl. Her name was Little Pearl. I mean, check out my mad rhyming skills. She didn't want to move. Her mum and dad wanted to, but she didn't move. They tried and tried, but Little Pearl still didn't move. They bought her a puppy. She called it Little Pup, but she still didn't go. I mean, can you tell I'd moved a lot in the time period before this? So they told her it was a farm. So Little Pearl went. She didn't move because she liked the house. Her mum and her dad didn't like the house. There were holes everywhere and spiders. It's like, that's the most loaded little story in ever. I clearly had an agenda when I wrote that, and I've drawn a picture of the house with spiders. It's Sunday the 8th of August. I'm not sure what year this is. 92 or so. The dog. The dog went for a walk on the lawn. When he sat down, he sat on a thorn. The dog saw a frog sitting on a log, and then the dog fell in a bog. And when I say the word dog, my dog turns up. Are you a dog? Yes, you are. No. Oh no. Wrong choice of words. Okay, different poem. We have some incredible diary entries, such as this beauty from January the 31st, 1996. So I was 12. Dear diary, I am so sorry I haven't written anything yet, but it's so hectic with my dad going back and New Year. My dad lived abroad, so, you know, he was obviously going back home. Today was so boring, except I decided to have a go at being a computer monitor. That's right, I'm that cool. We learnt how to format, back up, write protect, and we had to say why we wanted to be monitors. You remember the days of floppy disks and write protect? And having to reformat your floppy disks if you brought them into school because they were so worried about getting viruses that you had to bring in clean floppy disks, and if you didn't, your computer teacher would wipe them just to make sure that it was all safe. Also in games, I'm sorry about the dog. Also in games we played this running thing and one girl fell over and pulled a muscle in her thigh. I got a stitch. One girl pulled a muscle and another strained her foot. Sounds like an exciting games lesson. In science, we separated sand from salt, that old classic. Exciting! I mean, as a science teacher, is it? Maybe at that. Maybe 2 kids. Oh, wait, no, sorry. In science, we separated sand from salt. Exciting? Not! God. I watched TV when I got home and also helped clear up. We had beef stew and dumplings, homemade. Oh, and in English a policeman came in and we had to write statements and things like that. It was fun. So I liked writing police statements, but not so much separating sand from salt. On my next diary entry, I've put, we had chicken coated in garlic breadcrumbs and jacket potatoes followed by cakes. I pulled the muscles in my thighs from yesterday. So did everyone else. What is my obsession with people's thighs? So I'm going to finish up with this story. It's not dated. judging by my handwriting, I must have been about maybe sort of 10, from about 10 to 12, I'm not sure. It's untitled. Lily looked out of her window. It was a normal cold November day. She was a small, thin girl with shoulder-length red hair. She was bored. She had loads of time till school. Her mum said go out, but it was so cold and dreary it wasn't worth it. Besides, what did she know? Her mum couldn't know how she felt. She was an adult, an enemy, and suspecting I was nearer to 12. I didn't know I had so much angst. Lily decided to go and eat. She went and sat opposite her mum, who poured some milk on her cornflakes. Lily sat shrouded in her own thoughts and eat her breakfast. I must have meant ate. Then she went back up and sat by her window and read. Hours seemed to have gone when she remembered school. She was late. She jumped in the car and drove off faster and faster until the police were behind her. I should imagine so, since Lily is clearly a child. She went faster still, and while she checked to see if the police were behind her, she drove off the road. She stopped. I mean, good. The police came to her car and said something she didn't catch. She was too busy in her own thoughts to care. It's like this kid who's gone joyriding because her mum wanted her to play outside. And when the police come up to the car, she's just too busy. She was issued a caution, and then they drove off. She got back in the car and started the engine. Now she would never make it. So clearly, the police have just left her to drive the car, like that's okay. I mean, how old did I think this kid was? I mean, what are they cautioning her with? It's clearly not driving a car whilst being a minor. Anyway, now she would never make it. She drove to school and got a late mark. It was the same every day, not the speeding. Oh right, so that's what the caution is for. Not the speeding, but she always had loads of time, but was somehow late. Well, one would hope that my writing skills have improved. What I will say, although I can't show it on camera, because there's loads of personal information on the page that this is on about other people, there is a page here which is dated, oh no, it's not dated, but the page before is dated the 24th of March 1992. So in 1992 I would have been 6, 7, I would have been 7. And I've actually written here, when I grow up I want to be an author, which I will be, I'm going to be, on account of my book is coming out in October. I haven't done a release date yet. That's like exciting new information. Anyway, if you have some appalling little notebook of terrible stories from when you were a kid, then please tell me about it in the comments below, and your amazing writing skills from when you were a child. And if you ever got cautioned for stealing your mum's car and speeding because you didn't want to play outside and then being late for school, if you have a similar story to share, please do. Please like if you did, please leave me a comment below. I'm nearly at 100 subscribers. If I make it to 100 subscribers, I'd love to do, if I make it to 100 subscribers, this week, if I make it to 100 subscribers, I would love to do a shout out of the booktubers and author tubers that I'm really enjoying at the moment and share the love a little bit. So look forward to that. If I make it to 100, tell your friends about my channel. I don't know, subscribe if you're not. And if you do subscribe, you will find more bookish stuff, writerly stuff, booktube, authortube, that kind of thing. And I will see you all again for my next video really soon. Bye!